What orientation? See, now it's back in the wrong orientation, y'all. Ain't that something? Ain't that about a bitch? Ain't that about a bitch? Okay, let me put y'all up a little bit. How's everybody doing? I'm trying to go up anymore in this. Okay. That's all I get. That's all I get. So, I'm gonna let y'all know the rules real quick. I'm gonna go through the whole video, giving y'all my little spiel about this topic, how to get into nursing school, step 1. And then at the end, I'll answer any questions y'all got, okay? It's part of a series. We're gonna be doing this series. I need to get some better lighting. We're gonna be doing this series. So just chime in. We're gonna be doing them live so y'all can ask live questions and, you know, make it a whole little experience. But I want to talk about how to become a nurse. Step 1, I will answer your questions at the end, but let's get into it. So put your questions, comments, concerns in the chat, and then I'll answer them at the end of this video. So step 1 on how to become a nurse. If you all want to know a little background about me, I am YourFavNurseB. I've been a nurse for 9 years. Started off as a certified nursing assistant in training, also known as a CNA. Then I became an LPN, also known as a licensed practical nurse. And now I work as a registered nurse with my associate's degree. And I've been doing that for the past, since 2022. 2022? I don't know. I've been a nurse. I think I've been an RN for 2 years. So anyhow, we're going to drink some cinnamon tea. We're going to let that steep and do her thing. Let her be for a minute. So the first thing you want to do is you want to decide what type of nurse you want to be. Decide what type of nurse you want to be. So on a base level, like what you can start school with, graduate with, first step nursing, there's 3 of them. There's 3 types of nurses that you can become at like a base level before you get into graduate degree and PhDs and doctors and all that. So before you go that far, there's 3 types of nurses you can be. You can be a licensed practical nurse, also known as a licensed vocational nurse if you're on the West Coast. You can also become a registered nurse with your associate's degree, or they also call them ADN or AA. And then you can become a RN with a bachelor degree, or they say a bachelor prepared RN, or bachelor prepared nurse, or BSN, Bachelor's of Science in Nursing. So there's 3 types of nurses you can be. Now, they all vary based on how long your schooling is going to be. Your NCLEX is going to be different based on which way you decide to go. I already told you the length of schooling, the price of schooling, and then also post-graduation. So once you actually graduate and have your nursing license, there's differences as far as the type of job setting you can work in and type of roles that you can work in as a nurse. So let me get the angle right. What's up, everybody? Thanks for coming to Tell Live. Put any questions that you have about the topic in the chat, and then I'll answer them at the end of the video. So we're going to talk about the time it takes, the type of job setting or roles you can work in once you get done with that degree, as well as the cost of schooling for that degree. So there's tons of ways of reasons how you can choose whether you should go LPN, RN, or BSN. The ways that I feel like you can decide is you should look at the type of job setting that you want to work in. Do you want to work at a hospital? Are you okay working in a clinic? Do you want to be able to work from home? Do you want to be able to travel? Like, what type of job setting do you want to work in as a nurse? And also, what type of specialty you want to work in as a nurse? Think about what you want your career to actually look like as a nurse. That will really help you to decide if you want to go for your LPN, for your RN, or for your bachelor prepared nursing. That's one way of deciding. Another way is to look at how long the schooling is. The schooling varies vastly from LPN to bachelor prepared nurse. You're looking at a 12-month program. Some programs are even 9 months long compared to a 4-year, 5-year program, depending on how long it takes you to get those prereqs done. Because we know them prereqs can take a little minute, y'all. Okay? And then people have to redo classes and all that. So 1 year compared to 4 to 5 years is a huge difference. I think the biggest thing that most people that makes them make their decision is the time. That's one of the biggest things. For me, it was the time as well as the entry. You know how they say, what is that term that they use? Not portal of entry, but the, because I'm thinking as a nurse, portal of entry, but it has to do usually with business, where they say like the entrance, like the ability. Some businesses, there's not a lot of entryway to get in. Like there's not too many things you have to do to get into the business. You can get into the business with a low amount of money, but then some businesses or industries where it take you got to do a bunch of stuff to be able to get in. So the mode of entry or whatever, like the resistance to entry, I don't know what the term is, somebody tell me, but that part for LPN to compare it to BSN is a difference as well. Like I wouldn't say it's easier to get into a licensed practical nurse program, but the steps I took to get into my LPN probably gonna be more than what people gotta do for their BSN, because they be begging folks to come into their BSN. But anyhow, to become a licensed practical nurse, there's way less steps than if you were to go for your bachelor's, right? So anyhow, time is a second component. So the one thing could be the type of career you want to have. Think about that. What type of job setting you want to work in. Also think about how long do you want to be in school. That's number 2. The third thing to look at is the cost, because you have to pay for school. And you know, contrary to popular beliefs, student loans are a real thing. Student loans can hold you back, and student loans is still a debt that you should be repaying back, because somebody is giving you you're borrowing money for somebody to pay for your education, which will more than likely help you to be able to live your life. So you should pay these people their money back because you borrowed it. You should have all intentions to pay people back. And I used to think student loans, like whatever you die with debt, I'm so glad I got out of that mindset. But anyhow, you do need to pay these people their money back, or they're going to come for you. Honestly, student loans, they come for you, child. And they can hold you back from doing a lot of stuff. So never let your student loans default. I'm telling y'all that one now, right now. That's one thing I'm glad I never let them default. Don't ever let them default. But anyhow, that's another video. We'll talk more about that to begin with. In another video. But costs are real. How much is it going to cost you to go straight for that BSN program? Is it going to cost you $60,000, $65,000? You might say, I'll get student loans, that's nothing. Before you know it, by the time you got out of school, that $65,000 degree has turned into $75,000. Then don't let some time go by and you don't barely pay these people any money, or you just pay them in payments. That $65,000, $75,000 is now $90,000. It builds, and then you decide maybe before that you went to school and you did some little something you didn't finish, and that was like $10,000, $12,000. Now you're looking at $100,000 in student loans, $50,000, $30,000 in student loans, $70,000 in student loans. Like it adds up. So cost is important to think about. I believe in slow and steady. That's the way I went. I did CNA, LPN, RN. If I do feel like going for my BSN, I'm not paying for it. Somebody else paying for it. Okay? Point blank period. I ain't paying for that BSN. I ain't paying for my RN. Once I didn't have to pay for that RN, I was like, I ain't paying for school no more. Somebody else paying for this shit. Let me grab some water out. Y'all, I almost ended my life twice. I almost tripped over my fan, and then I just dropped some water on my dang on laptop. Hold on, y'all. Must I add a towel? Okay, so keep that in mind. What was I talking about? The cost. So there's 3 different things: job setting, time, and cost, as far as choosing what type of nurse you want to be. For me, I wanted to make money fast. And I didn't want to be, I was like, look, I had just got married. We were a young couple. I was quickly realizing we wasn't making no money. We was poor, child. I was like, we ain't got no money. I was like, one of us got to go to school and get a degree so the other person can, We need to do that, because if anything, we have to help the other person be able to go to school and do all of that and make money. Like, we got to become professionals. So you know how some households, one person go to school, they go to school and maybe the other person helps support them or whatever. Then the other person go to school and you help support that person, like that type of thing. So anyhow, I digress. I just knew that we needed to make some money fast. I was tired of working at the CNA, not making no money. And somebody was like, just go for your LPN. It's just 1 year. And I was like, how much you can make? What I gotta do? Bet. And I went for it. And to me, I got in, boom. And the rest is history, right? I'm your favorite nurse. I've been a nurse for 9 years now. I got my associate's degree, work in a hospital. And it's great. I love it. So, and I didn't have to pay for my RN. But I'm not saying don't go for BSN. I'm not anti go for BSN. I'm just all about look at your situation. Some people go straight for their BSN coming out of high school and they're getting full ride scholarships. You know, like don't fumble that bag. Because if you're coming straight out of high school, go for your BSN. Get into a program that's going to pay for everything, whatever type of scholarship, get them to pay for it. Or you go to a community college, take some classes at a community college, then transfer over to a bachelor prepared program and be done with it, right? Have them pay for it. My whole thing when it comes to school is whatever fits your family, because I got student loans for my LPN. But to me, had I just went in for a bachelor's prepared program and spent $40,000-$50,000 for a bachelor's degree, I feel like that would have been a lot more detrimental to my family, honestly. So to me, it was more important for me to make money as quick as possible. So I did the LPN, and I was okay with working in the setting of nursing homes because that's who was hiring when I was an LPN. And honestly, that's who paid the most. And that's where that's who paid the most for LPNs is nursing homes. Hospitals, honestly, from my experience, from what I've heard, they don't pay that much. And honestly, they really don't pay that much for RNs in the hospital unless you do like some type of, like what I'm doing, like PRN, something like that. That's when they start paying you. But like my base pay is not a lot of money. My base pay is like $35. Now that's not how much I get paid per hour. I have a differential because I'm PRN. I got a differential because I work weekends. I got a differential because I work nights. That is stacks. But if I was just getting paid $35 an hour, I can get that paid that as an LPN. So if I know that's how much they pay in RN's base pay in a hospital. Actually, my base pay went up because I did get a little raise. It went up to like 36, 37, something like that. But anyhow, it's in the 30s. So I'm gonna only imagine if they paying LPNs probably like 28, 29, maybe 30. Maybe 30 if you got a little experience. Maybe. I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure. But if you're okay with like working in long-term care, and LPN may be your thing, you want to make some money fast, LPN may be your thing. Maybe you really barely getting by financially, and you like, I can't be in school for the next 2, 3, 4 years. Like I need to make money now. Go for that LPN. Go for that LPN. Knock it out. And within that first year and a half, don't get no new car. I wish I could do that. I need to do it like what I should have did with that first LPN check. Child, I need to do it. Let me write that down. What I should have done with what I should have did with that first LPN/nurse check. Did I fumble the bag? Did I fumble the bag? Because I ain't had no kids back then. What the first thing you do? You get a car. Don't get no car that first year. Stack up. Try your best to stack up and pay off them student loans. Knock them down as much as you can. Or go to a job that's going to pay for them student loans. Like, you got to find a way to help, like, get through the system, because there's too many people paying. There's too many companies that pay for your schooling for you to be sitting here with all these damn student loans. Now, my mindset wasn't on pay your student loans. I was just like, they give me money for some money. Let me just take this, and, after taxes and all, they don't even be that much money when they pay you back. But it could have went towards if I was focused on it, I could have paid them off, like, super fast. The interest would have never, I didn't do a video about this, student loans. The interest would have never went up, all of that. I'm just writing it big. Because, anyways, look at the cost. Think about the cost, y'all. Think about the cost. And to me, I'm always going to be an advocate for LPN or LVN first, or going for your associate degree as an RN first, because it's not as much money. Those straight BSN programs be so expensive, y'all. It be so expensive. I'm an advocate for community colleges, which I'm gonna talk about that in the second video, because the second video in this series we're gonna be talking about how to choose your schools as far as nursing programs. But I'm a big advocate for community colleges because it's inexpensive. Like, you have to think about the cost, y'all, when you're thinking about whether or not you should become an LPN, RN, BSN, y'all. You have to look at long term. If you already know what type of nurse you want to be, you know your plan. Say you going into, you like, I want to become a CRNA. It may behoove you to go straight for your BSN. If you look at the cost, you look at how long it's going to take, you create your plan. Maybe you're going to do 2 years at a community college, get all your prereqs done. Then you're going to transfer over to a program. And while you're at the community college, maybe you'll work as a CNA. You try to stack up your money, stay at that job. You know, you make a plan. Or you might say, I want to go get my CRNA, or I want to become a nurse practitioner, or I know my long-term goal is to be an administrator or to do this or have my own business, but I want to have a bachelor's degree at some point. You might say, let me get that LPN first. The money I'm making off that LPN, stack that money up, do whatever I want to do with that. Live off of maybe half of that LPN wage, or live off a third of that LPN income, or whatever, or save a third of that income, stack it up, put that towards my next thing. You know, once I'm in school for my RN, I can pay out of pocket for my RN, or have my job pay for it because I'm working as an LPN, have my job pay for it while I'm in school working as an RN. While I'm in school, going to school for my RN, instead of me having to work so many hours to make my money, I'm a nurse. I can cut back on my hours, still make a decent amount of money. Maybe go PRN, maybe travel, maybe do agency, which is what I did, and make even more money while I'm in school for my RN. And my schedule is going to be flexible, because if I'm doing agency while I'm in school for my RN and I'm working as an LPN, if I don't want to work that week, I ain't going to pick up no shifts. I work agency, and when I do pick up, it's going to be more money because you're working agency or you're doing traveling or whatever. So there's so many avenues when you already get into the industry as a nurse and you go to school as a nurse. There's a huge advantage to getting that LPN first so that you can still, you know, work and do what you got to do, make your money, do what you got to do, and work different shifts, work different. You can do home health. You can do so much with that LPN. You can work in the hospital. You can work at a clinic. You could work from home. There's still work from home jobs as LPNs. So there's a lot of opportunities, and you just have to look and see what works for you. If you're young, you live with your parents, you know this is probably the only time in your life you're going to have free, all your expenses paid for. You might say, sure, I'm going to go for that BSN. I'm going to go for that BSN. If I got to get student loans, I got to get student loans. It is what it is. But I'm here with my parents. They paying for this. I can still do what I got to do and have the protection of my family, and, you know, have them hopefully helping you with food and things like that, and you go straight for your BSN because you have the time. Maybe you don't have kids or something like that, and you want to go for that. You have to think about what fits you at the end of the day when you're deciding whether you want to do LPN, RN, or BSN. What fits you? Do not let anyone tell you don't go for LPN. Do not let anybody tell you just go for LPN. You ain't got to get your RN. Look at what you want to do. What's your plan? How do you want your life to look? Nursing is a lifestyle. You can make this work for you however you want it to work. I've made it work for me however I want it to work. I done had 2 kids when I was as a nurse. I done went back to school, had another kid, and still working as a nurse. You know, like I'm doing this video and still working as a nurse. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many possibilities to being a nurse. And right now, even with my associate's degree as an RN, if I was to go somewhere right now and decide to get a job at a hospital, I'll probably get a sign-on bonus if I actually, because I'm an RN, I'm an LPN. I mean, not LPN, child. Hold on, let me take a sip. I'm a little parched. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I like this. It's my first time trying this. If y'all didn't realize, this is canela cinnamon. Is that how you spell cinnamon in Espanol? Canela. But anyways, I got it from La Bodega. No, there's this Save-A-Lot. Save-A-Lot got this little Hispanic section. They got some cinnamon tea. Okay, I'm feeling it. It's my first time trying it. Why did I try that before. I've been had this tea and haven't even tried it. But anyhow, do what fits you. You have to look at your plan. What's your career plan? How much time you want to, you know, go back to devote to school. Also, how much are you willing to pay? Another thing to keep in mind is, are you willing to go back to school? Now, some people say, I'm going straight for that BSN and I'm going to take the NCLEX once. I'm going to school once. I'm taking that NCLEX once. I ain't about to be going to school for LPN, take the NCLEX for LPN, go to school, get your prereqs for your RN, then go to school for RN, then take RN and NCLEX, then do all the prereqs to get into a BSN program, then get into a BSN program. Like, I'm not about to do all of that. That's exactly what I do. That's exactly what I did up into the RN. I got the RN. But I did all that other stuff before that. Some people are not willing to go back to school, start all over again, take another state board exam, pay for another state board exam, keep up with the LPN license, keep up with the RN license. Like, they're not trying to do all of that. They want to go straight for that BSN. That's what my best friend decided to do. And I got like 3 or 4 videos with her talking about her experience as a bachelor prepared nurse. She talked about her experience as a patient care tech, doing pediatric nursing, and right now she's in school to become a nurse practitioner. We're still talking about it. I don't know if she still wants to do it. We've been kind of talking about it. Well, I need to have her come back on the channel, but anyhow, I digress. Let me sip this tea again. Hold on. And then you can like smell the tea, like the cinnamon just go into your... Tea is bomb. Tea all day, every day. That's what I choose. But factor in whether or not you're willing to go back to school. Because she was like, I knew I wasn't going to go back to school. She said, I wasn't about to do all that. So you got to know yourself too. Like, right? That's something to really figure, to factor in. Are you willing to go back and start over again? That's what I had. The whole admission process, doing all that stuff, getting all the paperwork ready to get into school, going back to school as an adult, you know, further in your life. Do you want to go back? I got my LPN when I graduated in I started when I was 24, and I started when I was 23, and I graduated when I was 24, because I graduated in 2015 with my LPN, and then I went back to school for my RN. I didn't go back until a year after COVID, so 2021. So I was going to school in 2014, went back to school for my RN in 2021. So that's what, 6 years of time has gone by, and I'm going back to school now. The first time I went back, I was a wife, didn't have any kids. Now this time I went back, I had 2 kids. I was still a wife. Like, I was still working as a nurse. Like, I had so much more responsibilities there, but I went back to school. I went back to school in my 30s. So are you willing to do that? Think about, just all you got to do is just sit down and think, literally write it down, do some research, look at schools, and think about what type of nurse do I want to be? What's my goal? When they say, what's your 5-year plan? Think about that. If you are embarking on a career, right? This is a career. So you really need to think about this next step. Don't just rush into nursing. Don't just let people tell you, go up to this school and do all of that. Really think about it. Now, for me, I didn't do all of that thinking and all of that. You know, the cosmos made it happen. God made it happen, where I was talking to somebody. Literally, I was talking to a friend, Bridget, and I was like, I'm tired of doing this. We ain't even making no money. And she was like, why don't you just become an LPN? It's only a 1-year program. And I was like, what? She said, yeah, do it at the med center. And I was like, okay, bet. And I ended up looking it up, figuring it out. I didn't even have, y'all heard this story 1,001 times. I didn't even have my GED. And I was like, shoot, let me get this GED. And so I was like, okay, I got to get, because I looked at everything I had to do to get into the LPN program. I was like, shit, I got to get my GED. So I went ahead, I looked it up, and I drove like an hour away from St. Louis to Jefferson County 2 days in a row, early in the morning before I went to work. I was working 2:30 to 11. And I went in, took the test, like, you know, you split it up. I did my science and writing and whatever, history, whatever, have me half of the GED one day. And the next day I went back in, did the same thing, and went back to work. And I got that GED. That was like in November, December. I got my GED in November of 2013. I was 23. And then I went to that January, I had applied. I took the test. I studied how to take the test to get into the program. It was Wonderlic is the name of the program. I looked up Wonderlic sample questions, and I just sat down and I just tested how to do them. And then they had wanted us to do math and I think science and English, and I had already just did the GED, so the math was already, you know, on my mind. In English, I already been always been relatively well with English, so I wasn't really studying English like that. It was the math, always the math, y'all. But I had, like I said, I just did the GED. Also, y'all, don't let these. I need to do a video about that. Do not let. Let me write this down. Do not let application stop you. Stop letting these entrance exams stop y'all. That's for somebody specifically, because that's what y'all be letting them damn entrance exams get to y'all. Just do it. Just do it. Study how to do it. Look it up. Time yourself doing it. Sit down. Take some time to do it. Work on it every day. Pay for the entrance exam and just do the exam. Study for it and do it. Pay your money. Pay your money because it's going to make you want to study for it. That's what I did. If I ain't going to do it, so I put some money on it. Once I pay for it, then I'm going to do it. So I know what moves me. Money moves me. So I pay that money, and then I sit there and I do what I got to do, because it motivates me to be like, okay, I only got so much time. I got a date. I got to get this done. So I don't want to waste my money, and I don't want to waste my time. So let me go ahead and study for this. Do what you got to do. Get into that school. It's just an entrance exam. If you want to go to the school, you got to do the entrance exam. You can do it. Just put your back into it, okay? Do some work. But I got to do a video about that. Anyhow, that's how I got into the program. So my friend told me about it sometime in November. I sat down, figured out how to do the GED. This before it became the high set, before, you know, it switched over. I did that GED real quick. I finished the application. My mom and my daddy had helped me pay for it. I paid to get in, and I made it work. I got into the program like that February. They were still sending stuff in the mail. I was looking at it in the mail. Okay, I got into the program. Oh my gosh, you know, got it in the mail. Started the program. A year later, I became YourFavNurseB. The rest is history. The rest is history. So I didn't really sit down and plan it out, but I knew for me, I wanted to do something fast. It's like we put it out there, you know, as a young couple. I was like, we need to do something. We need to get ourselves into something where we can make some, like, one of us has to go back to school. I remember specifically thinking and telling my husband, like, one of us got to go back to school because something ain't happening. Like, it ain't working for us. Like, you know, we young in our 20s. I'm like, we struggling. We need to make some money. And it helped. It really helped my family. But that's what worked for me. I needed something quick, fast, in a hurry. And I had owed another school money, so I couldn't get my transcripts out to go to a traditional school. So I went to Applied Tech here in St. Louis. Check them out. Highly recommend them, at least from when I went. It worked for me. It was a great program. Wasn't too expensive. Good location. I liked the faculty. I feel like everybody did their job. You know, nursing school is nursing school. Nursing schools, they human too. They human too. So a lot of them be real ratchet. They be messing up. They be... Teachers be, it's just like healthcare. It ain't no different from if you worked in healthcare. How, you know, managers and supervisors, everybody ratchet. That's how nursing school. It just is what it is. But for what it is, it was a pretty decent school. So check them out here in St. Louis. But that was my thing. That's how I got into it. And that's what's been working for me. And like I said, if I do decide to go for my BSN, somebody else paying for it, and I'm more likely just gonna do it online. And I'm gonna have to do my research about that too, and have a reason why I'm doing it, because I don't even know if I really want to do PSN. I don't know. I digress. But that's your first step, y'all. Just decide what type of nurse you want to be: LPN, RN, or BSN. Typically, LPN programs are like 9 months to 12 months. RN programs are typically 2 years. But remember, you have to do prereqs. That's the thing. That most of the thing is you gotta do prereqs for your associate's degree in nursing as well as your bachelor's degree in nursing. You have to do prereqs. A lot of the prereqs that you need for your bachelor's degree, or a lot of the prereqs that you need for your associate's degree, are the same prereqs that you need for your bachelor's. So some people, they might do all their prereqs, and by the time you know start to get done with your prereqs, you're still in the process of deciding whether or not you want to go for an associate's degree or a bachelor's degree. You don't have to make a decision right away, especially if you're doing those prereqs. You just need to decide how you need to plan out how you want to do your prereqs, which I got a separate video about that, because that's a whole other monster. That's a whole other monster. That's one thing that makes people want to go for LPN over RN or BSN all the time, because they're like, I don't want to do them niggas on prereqs. And that's what stops a lot of LPNs from going for their RN or going for their bachelor's degree, because they don't want to do prereqs. I was literally in school from 2014 up until 2022. I was in school for a very long time. I was in school that whole dang long time. because I was doing all my prereqs. Because even after I got my LPN, I started doing prereqs in 2015. I graduated with my LPN in 2015. And before that, I was in school for a whole year. So it took me 5 years to do my prereqs for my bachelor's degree. Some people don't want to do that. So they be like, I'm not about to be in school for the rest of my life. And that's literally what I did. I think that's why I go a little crazy sometimes. I have not been out of school for this long. I was in school for a very large part of my adult life, from like 23 up until 20 or up until 31, 32 years old. So I was in school for a long time. And then prior to that, I was in school. So it's just like I had took a little break, but I was in school before that. So I'm gonna look at some of y'all questions. Let me know if y'all got any more questions. Put them in the comment section. But yeah, just choose whichever route you want to do. And like I said, decide what's your end goal as far as your career. Decide how much time you're willing to go to school for. Is 1 year what you want to do? Are you okay with doing 2 years of prereqs and 2 years of an RN program? Are you okay with doing 2 years of prereqs and 2 years of a bachelor's program? And also, yeah, I'm going to talk about it in the second video. Y'all got to watch the second video to know what I'm about to say. Because I'm about to give it to y'all. Stop thinking that just because y'all going into these schools that's bachelor prepared programs, stop thinking that you're in nursing school, because you're not. You're still doing prereqs like everybody else. You are not truly in nursing school until you pass your prereqs. And this is how some bachelor prepared programs get you. Some people are they really want to just say, I'm in nursing school so bad, that they're willing to go to these schools and do their prereqs at these schools and pay a premium. You are paying a premium cost to do prereqs. I'm gonna talk about this on the second video, but I gotta tell somebody right now. While I'm looking for y'all questions, you are paying them a premium rate to do your prereqs when you can be doing these prereqs at community college and then transferring yourself into a bachelor program. So look into that, y'all. Look at everything. Literally sit down and research. Go through this whole series with me, and I'm going to tell y'all what to do. I'm telling y'all how to become a nurse. That's the name of the series, How to Become a Nurse. So this is step 1. I'm kind of getting ahead, but this step 1. Decide, do you want to be LPN, RN, or BSN? That's the first thing, okay? So let me look at y'all questions, comments, and concerns. What's up, Rashida? Let me kind of move this up so y'all I can see. In a summer, skin was a conduit. So Rashida A. Hey, Nurse B. What's up, Trey? Hey, Trey. Rashida said, I am starting my prerequisites in the spring for RN program. Whoop, whoop. Being paid by my... That's what I'm talking about. She says being paid by her job. Would you suggest going to school full-time while working full-time? It really depends, Rashida. It depends on how many classes you're taking, what type of classes you're taking, how long you've been out of school, what type of student are you? You know, are you relatively strong when it comes to your studies, and you know how you study, and you know how to get yourself into study mode, you know how to, do what you got to do? Or has it been a minute since you've been in school and you like, shoot, I'm terrified, shaking in my boots, I don't know how to do it. Do you have, it just really depends on, where you're at. I wouldn't mind, what are you going to school for? I mean, what are you working? What do you work as? Like, are you able to go part-time PRN? Are you able to change your schedule to fit your schooling? It hasn't been a while since you went into school. If it's been a while, you might want to jump down to part-time so you can see, get into the groove, because you don't want to jeopardize your school for a job, right? Because it's the reason why you're going to that school, because of the job. You don't want to stay in that job. You want to go to school so you can get a different job. So don't allow that job to impede on your future goals. So you may have to cut back from that job so you can focus more in on your actual future goals. And that could just be going part-time or PRN or whatever fits you. But it's best to put yourself in a position where you can be flexible as far as your schedule, because you might not know what type of student you are. You might be like, okay, the classes might start off kind of okay, and then they get too hectic, or they might be hectic right out the gate. You don't know. And it might, if it's been a few years since you've been to school, and maybe you're not a very strong student, or you could be a very strong student, or maybe there's other things in your life that could be stressing you, right? Because you're not just going to school. You're still going to be having to fulfill whatever other roles you got. I don't know, you're a mother, you're a wife, or if what else you got going on in your life, what your housing situation is. Like, all these things become a thing when it comes to nursing school. And no, you're not in nursing school yet, but those prereqs, you got to do well on those prereqs. You got to get a certain grade, you know, and you actually need to understand that information from those prereqs to better you in your nursing program, especially if you're starting to do science and math. You're going to need that, especially those sciences, right? So it just depends. I don't know your course load. You just got to see. But yeah, thanks for the question. Good question. And I could do a video about that. Should I work while in school? Should I work while in school? Let's see. Rescue 82 said, would it be better to get your LPN first before earning your RN if finances are tight? I think I did answer that. I feel like I did. Excuse me. For me, yes, it was better. It was better. For sure. For sure. It was better. Thank you. He said, appreciate you. Tossing distractions. Hi here from chat, for the chat. Currently a fresh MA and going back to school next year for, are you a medical assistant? That's what's up. Did you get a job yet? And going back to school next year for your nursing. Congrats. Good job. Protect Huwana Bella. Project Huwana Bella. I love the flower. Yes, upgrade your skills and credentials. Ain't that something? That's a word. Shoot, maybe you talking to me. I need to upgrade my skills and my credentials. I don't wanna. King D said, I was accepted into a 3-year BSN program and a 12-month LPN program. I feel stuck on which program to choose. Again, it depends on your goals, depends on the cost, and you know, to see the time. It just depends. It really depends, King D. You really need to, this video I hope helps you, because just look at your goals, look at how much it's gonna cost you. You already got the timing in there. Just think about, you know, how you want to proceed. Are you willing to do NCLEX more than once? Are you willing to go back to school if you want to go for your BSN? Is BSN the best thing for you? Do you need to get your BSN? Is LPN your best thing for you? Are you okay working as an LPN and working in the settings that most LPNs work in? Yes, LPNs can work in so many different places outside of nursing homes and things like that. But that's where you're going to see a lot of LPNs. You just are. But you can still do a lot with your LPN and work in a lot of different settings, you know. That's not, you're not stuck on that. But that is a possibility. I mean, that is what it is. Yeah. LPN can make a bag at nursing home, but you're going to be working, child. You're going to be working. I don't know what area you in, but you're going to be working for it. Woo! I'm glad I did it. I feel like it was a great stepping stone for me, for my family. It helped me so much as a nurse. I feel like I have so much knowledge as an LPN, a better understanding of healthcare, a better understanding of me as a person. I worked at so many different places, y'all, especially me working as a agency LP. I met so many different people, took care of so many different people. So I feel like for me, LPN was pretty cool. Like, I liked my experience. It was depressing at the end. I was like, okay, I gotta get up out of this. Like it's not cutting it. Like, it's just not. It's just, I just couldn't do it. So I'm glad I got out. Like, get out, like, for real. I ain't gonna lie. Nursing homes is rough, especially nowadays, post-COVID. Like, it's real rough. It's rough, y'all. It's giving struggle, like, more than struggle. Like, I don't know if anybody into tarot, but it's like the 10 of swords with all the swords in your back. You just bleeding on the ground. Like, I would never go back. I don't think I would never go back, but it's I don't know. I don't even want to talk about it no more. Like, it was tough, man. It was tough work, but it worked. I mean, I'm not discouraging anybody. Just for me, I guess, because I was doing it. Y'all got to think I was working in nursing homes. Pre-COVID, after COVID, y'all know it was rough after COVID. Y'all know it was rough. Rough. It was rough, y'all. It was so scary. I'm laughing, but y'all, it was so, like, I'm laughing so that I don't cry. Like, it was rough, y'all. Working, I think I do have PT. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm sure a part of me has PT. I'm not even joking, for real, y'all. Like, I'm dead serious. Part of me got PTSD from working in nursing homes, y'all. Working nights, working hard to take care of so many patients, y'all. Y'all know I got videos about this. I'm crying in videos talking about it, because it was so much work. But yeah, I mean, become an LPN. But you don't have to work in nursing homes, and not all nursing homes are the same. Yeah, I feel like I did my time, child. I did my work, like Ayama said. Now it's time for you to do your work. Your girl did her work. I worked in nursing homes for 8+ years, child, and as an RN. But I'm gonna move on. Thank you, King D, for your question. Juana Bella, she just answered no, if you can sustain going to school longer, especially with costs of your life and with school. Please, please, please do the video about student loans. That's what T. Watson said. I just graduated my BSN last week. Oh, congratulations! And would love your advice concerning this topic. Okay, I'm gonna do that video for you. Now it's afterwards, you know. So it's like I gotta give some post advice and pre advice, because now you already did whatever you did with the student loans. But start paying them. Pay them right away. Don't delay. Pay them money. Them people they money. Pay them folks they money, child. That's my first advice before we do the video. Let me write that down. Pay them folks they money. Pay them folks they money. Pay them folks they money, please. Yeah, I thought I had. I thought I had. Do I really? Do I have? No, I don't. Oh, I do. Yay. Yeah, I'm a little famished, child. I'm famished. I'm not even gonna hold you. I need these, y'all. Let's see. Kimberly said, "Hey, Nurse B, checking in from Cincinnati. What's up?" That made me think about Obi. Even the Cleveland Browns. I know you said Cincinnati, but remember Obi off of It's Living Single. Let me think about him. The Bears. Wasn't it him? You said you're aiming for your CNA next year, but you need to work somewhere that will pay for LPN that I plan on getting next year. Yeah. Where are you going to school for your CNA? Are you going to a facility to have them pay for it, or you going to a school? Like, what's your plan? Because that might help you to find who can help pay for it. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm reading in my head. I'm going to read to y'all. Chantel said, Chantel Anthony said, I don't blame you. I feel the same way. Hold on. You said, Chantel Anthony said, "Hey, Miss Brandy, I've been thinking about going back to school for the 3rd time. But don't feel like dealing with people on any level." Period. Okay. I don't blame you. I don't want to deal with them folks too. Man. Like, did you already get your degree, or like you didn't complete your degree, so you gotta go back? Like, what's the story, Chantel? You can do it. A lot of stuff is online nowadays too. Nurse P, congrats to you for what you're doing. Yep, it's the math. Yes, sweets, it's the math. This video is right on time. I'm glad. Join in to say, "B, you're so pretty. You can rock long dreads and short curls. Love it." Oh, thank you. D said, "Nothing but God." You said you're going for your RN. Okay, do it. Nurse PP says, "BSN opens up the lane for opportunities." Get that. I don't feel like BSN make a difference where I work. That's where I work, though. It just depends on what you want to do. Back in the day, they pushed BSN so much. Just like they push nurse practitioner, and now they don't even care about nurse practitioner. Like, you can barely get a job as a nurse practitioner. I be having nurse practitioners working the floor with me. And I got an associate's degree. I ain't got no BSN. I ain't got none of that. They working on the same floor with me, working the same job, making the same pay. Yeah. So I don't know. Talking Distraction says, "Our 18 months for LPN." Okay. Yeah, it's a program here that do 18 months for LPN too. Sweet said, "I don't feel like going for my BSN because of the extra time, but my mind might change." I feel that too. Go back based on your goals and what your lifestyle looking like. At least you know when you get that associate's degree, if you do want to go back for your BSN, most programs are online, so it can be way more chill, way more laid back. They're usually super cheap. RN to BSN programs are usually super cheap. A lot of jobs will pay for them. A lot of jobs are have partnerships with different schools, and you can get a discount for your BSN. So many, it's harder to find programs in person for BSN than it is to find them online. So many programs are online. They're specifically designed for working professionals. Like, they design it for you. They know that you're an RN, you already working as a nurse. You just need to get in, get out, get this BSN, and keep it pushing. So they really cater to professionals that are in school. So those oriented BS programs don't if you're willing to, take them steps by step and do oriented BSN, I say do it versus going straight for BSN. But look at what fits you. Because like I said, that straight to BSN can really get you, especially if you got if you come out of high school or whatever, you get a full ride scholarship, child, you better go for that BSN. You would be like 22. I remember somebody, she was 21 years old, had her BSN, and was doing the thing. She probably could have been a nurse practitioner by like 26. If you know what you want to do, you know your plan, especially if you're in high school, or you at that point where you can, like I said, get a full ride scholarship, or you're younger, 19, 20, you know your plan, what you want to do. In any age, honestly, but I'm just thinking about the younger age people. You do that, you know your plan, like you could really bust some moves and be done by like 28. And then if you decide to, if you say you do get student loans, you're like, okay, I'm gonna live below my means for like 2 years and just knock down all these student loans, like, or you don't have no kids or whatever, and maybe you come out of school and you don't even have any student loans. You come out of school with your bachelor's degree, get you a little modest car, get you a little modest little apartment, whatever, stack up your money. Like, you can do some stuff. You can do some stuff. Let's see. What's up, Moj? I really think nurses that have been in the field for so long need to get some administrative and leadership roles, especially with their extensive experience. I agree, and I be thinking about that sometimes. But I ain't about the bullshit, though. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't about the bullshit. And you be thinking that because you got in that role, you're gonna be able to change the world, or things gonna be better. But it's so goddamn stressful to be in them roles, because then the expectations are higher. Like, I want to come in and leave. Oh shoot, let me plug y'all up. But I do agree. It be the people that should be in administrative roles that don't be in administrative roles. Hold on, y'all. I'm over here moving furniture. In the conduit. Oh, heck. Oh no. No. Okay, here we go. But I do agree with you. But it usually be younger people with more enthusiasm, and they see that money, then they want to come in and save the world. They'll be the ones. What's next? Okay, I'm gonna get through a few of these little comments, these questions and comments, and then I'm gonna go meet my family. I'm like starving, y'all. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm eating them, talking, eating. Just give me a minute. Denise, what was your previous question? I didn't see no question. Did I answer it? You're going to have to ask your, if you still heard Denise, you're going to have to ask your question is. I didn't see it. I don't see it right here. So you said, I'm going to go through these real quick. Kimmy, I'm sorry. I called you Kim. Naturally, Kimmy says, I'm in an LPN program in Baltimore. Okay. And look forward to graduating. Glad I made this decision. Okay, Baltimore. That's what's up. Good for you. I'm working as a medical assistant. I mostly triage and do referrals and some lab work, EKG and injections. Need help, but I got my my medical assistants around May this year. Good for you. Yeah, I mean, you said you was in the book for 4 months. A lot of the times with healthcare careers, you ain't gonna learn until you learn. You ain't gonna learn until you on the job doing it. So you just gotta soak it up while you're on the job. You're not gonna feel confident. And even times, even as an RN, I don't feel confident. Even as a nurse for 1,000 years, I don't always feel confident. So it's just, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. Get in there and get the experience, ask questions, and just, if you don't know something, but ask. And the thing with healthcare is like, it's probably gonna always be times when you don't know something, because it's a field where you always continuing to learn. Things are always changing. Toss and Distraction says, oh, you say you feel like you need more schooling, so instead of going for your yeah, that's what's up. See, start somewhere. But you already went to school for medical assistant, so if you already working as it, just go from there. Just keep going. Go to your LPN or go for your BSN, whatever, RN. The struggle working in nursing home is rough, and I am a seasoned CNA, and I know that I'm burnt out. That's why I'm on the fence. If I stay in the healthcare field, I'll do coding. Okay, and a lot of people have been telling me you can do coding as a nurse too, which I should try to get into that. But yeah, you do feel burnt out, and I used to think like, what's the point of even going further? Like, I'm already tired of doing this. Why should I go further? But when you do become a nurse, becoming a nurse in general opens you up. It ain't even just getting your RN or just getting your BSN. Becoming a nurse takes you to that next level as far as just the way you move, the way you can make your money, where you can go. It changes your outlook. And then, of course, going from LPN to RN, definitely. That was the biggest jump for me. I don't necessarily think BSN do open up doors, especially if you want to do management and things like that. But that LPN to RN really open you up. RN really open doors. It opened doors to a lot. And I needed to do a job search video with y'all where I was going to look at some RN jobs like in my area, and we kind of just look at them and see what they're talking about, see what the money looking like, see what the sign-on bonus is looking like. Because it's a lot of different places that's hiring RNs in my area. And it's just looking at the diversity of where you could work. It's cool. Because as an LPN, you kind of feel closed in, and even if you do go outside of nursing homes, the pay isn't always that good. But I don't want to discourage people, because like I said, I got a lot out of becoming an LPN, and you can work in other settings other than nursing homes. I just didn't. But there's definitely opportunities for you, and I'm sure just that experience, getting that experience as an LPN, even if the pay isn't more, coming in with more experience as an LPN to me is good, because you got the experience. Like, I've worked with LPNs at the hospital, and she was like, she worked like with a surgeon and things like that. So she has way more information, knowledge than I do. And she an LPN, so she has a diverse, because I just did nursing home. So there's definitely, the money is there, the opportunities is there. I just honestly don't know how much the money is there. But you can work somewhere as an LPN, and get that work on getting that specialty outside of the nursing home, and then maybe still pick up PRN or part-time in a nursing home to kind of beef up your income. That's the thing about nursing. There's so many different things. You can have one part-time job. You get your benefits from that job. That's your main squeeze. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's your boo. That's your boo. That's wifey right there. And then you got, your little PRN job or your agency job. If you want to make some quick money, you need to make a few $100. Within the next 24 hours, you pick up a little shift, get your money on your card. If you do agency, get your little card. The money transfers straight to your card, straight to your account right away. You need to make a quick few bucks, quick $100. You got a trip coming up, pick up a few agency shifts, and you still got your part-time job. Maybe you got your benefits there, your 401k. You got your you got your 401k, you got your vacation pay and all this, sick days. You got something that's solid, and then you got something on the side, you do a little quick and make your money real quick. You had those options as a nurse, and you can do that as a CNA too. That's what I love about healthcare. There's so many different ways to make money. You can make money at all different times of the day. Money can come to you super fast working in healthcare. Like I said, doing agency, a lot of agencies pay you right away, or within 24 hours you get your money. So that's what I like about it. It feel like, I don't want to say the bad word. Y'all know money that's quick. You know what I'm talking about? They wore beepers back in the day. It ain't like that type of money, but you kind of feel like it. Like, it's like, okay, I work this shift, boom, I remember I used to pick up agency at this one agency as an LPN. I picked up as an RN too sometimes. And I would work, they didn't really have a lot of RN. But anyways, I would work there. I would make like, let me see how much I used to make real quick. I didn't do a video about that. How much I used to make at this place. But I would make a few $100. I would go work at like a little night shift, make a few $100, come home, take a shower. By the time I look at my account, the money sitting there on my account, I was like, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Like, the money just sitting there. I woke up that day, I didn't even know I was going to pick up a shift. I just decided, let me pick up a shift. Pick up a shift, the money's just sitting there. And you just be like, dang, that's what's up. That's what's up. I love those feelings back in the day. The money just comes so fast. And it still does. I just don't work. I just don't work pay stub. I just don't do that anymore. But I can get my money right away now, too, if I wanted to. I can't find my pay stubs, y'all. What can I look up under? I'm trying to think. What did I used to get paid with them? Anyway, I'm going to have to look it up. Old pay stubs. I done came about 5 different videos by doing this one video. That's why I love doing lives. Because I just be talking and thinking. I just be literally talking to myself. I'm glad y'all watching, but I'm still kind of talking to myself. Right? Like this video if y'all like it. Let's see. You said, I'm currently working as an LPN and working in med-surg. I'm tired of the heavy patient load and being short-staffed. Just applied to LPN or in Bridge. I'm planning to specialize in ICU. I love it. And you can work in ICU as an LPN. Sometimes they be having LPNs and ICUs. I wish that I had became a patient care tech and worked as a patient care tech, like in a hospital on like a ER or ICU. I would love to do that. I wish I would have did that and just do it from that role, not necessarily from a nurse role, but start off there and then just bridge my way into it. Had them pay for my BS and all of that. You said new Princess Mahaber. New LPN undecided if I want to pursue RN or change pathways to a bachelor's in health administration. I would say RN gonna give you way more ability to make money, to be able to live your life, because that RN degree gonna do way more than that health administration. I'm telling you right now, because you can be a RN and go back and get that administrative license. You don't have to. It's it's LPNs that's administrators of facilities that's running nursing homes. So you don't have to get that. I would say get that RN. Then, and you're LPN already. Oh, child, you could be doing a lot. Yeah, I wouldn't go for that, because the health administration only puts you in health administration. As an RN, you can do so much with your RN. If you get tired of doing whatever role you're in, you can still do leadership as an RN. You can get in the door and make some money as an RN. You can go to different specialties, hospitals, nursing homes, clinics, travel. You can do, you could be a school nurse. You could help people learn how to do CPR. Like, you could do so much. And there's so many different ways to make money. There's so many different avenues to make money. And people still want that RN degree. Everybody always want a nurse. People always want a nurse on their team. And all these different industries, even down to law, politics, policy making. All nurses are everywhere. So that RN degree will take you further. But I would say do some research. But from what I've seen, the RN gonna take you way further and give you way more options. And if you ever just need to make some money, that RN, you're gonna make some money with the RN way more than you're gonna make it as an administrator. Because how many administrators are out there? Not to discourage you, but you can still become an administrator with your RN quicker than I think you would do than just an administrator license or degree. My opinion. But do your research. But I think you can do way more with that RN. With the RN, the elite era said here in California, so many hospitals are offering new grad programs in almost all specialties. What's up? In almost all specialties. Cali is where the money at. Chantel says, I have 4 more classes for healthcare studies. I can do coding and billing, unit manager, etc. Anything besides messing with people's hands. Well, I hear you. I'm kind of thinking maybe I want to get into that. I don't know. I've been in my job for like 2 years, so we'll see. We'll see. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I'm going to do a part 2 to this, and we're going to do a whole little series. So if you got any more questions, comments, and concerns, put them in the comment section. Look over the live chat if y'all doing the rewatch. Yeah, just thank you all for being here. I appreciate y'all chiming in. I plan on doing this hopefully again tomorrow night for y'all, so we can do part 2. But yeah, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I got to go be somebody mama. So I'm going to get off this live. Thanks again for watching. Peace. I love you all. Thanks for